Welcome back. Let's take you back now to that conversation with Sassa's Paseka Letsatsi around the issue of social grants payment, delayed payments or hiccups, whatever the situation may be, including also the conversation around the impact of smartphones in that process. Paseka, we took you off for a moment because the quality was not so great, so I'm hoping it has improved this time around. You were explaining, because some beneficiaries are saying that they've not been paid out, and I had asked you to confirm if this is the case and what the reasons are behind the delay in paying some of the grants.
Good afternoon, Tulasizo. I hope I'm audible now. There are various reasons why we have this hiccup, and the only reason which one can mention is the fact that we had a situation where beneficiaries were basically giving us they were basically changing their banking details. So we just wanted to appeal to our beneficiaries that do not continuously change your banking details, because if you do that, when we have to make a payment, we have to bounce the information with the bank that you have given us the details, and it takes longer. So we just want to basically appeal to the beneficiaries that they must not continuously change their banking details when it's not necessary. But secondly, they must make sure that the cell number which they give to us is as correct as possible, so that we are able to make sure that the verification is positive all the time.
I'm battling with that a bit, Paseka, and I'll tell you why. People change their cell phone numbers and I imagine banking details all the time. Why would then this particularly manifest this month? I mean, you as Sassa would know from experience that people change their details all the time, and by now I imagine you are used to dealing with those systems. You must have systems in place to deal with that. So why this one particular month, all of a sudden, this is a huge issue?
It's not necessarily a huge issue in that instance, Tulasizo. What is happening is that we are now doing the means test because we are using the Social Assistance Act to implement the distribution of the 350. So if you change the details of the 350, it means we must do the verification with the bank that you have given us. For example, if you gave us Bank X this month, we process the request, and in the middle, when you change and go to Bank Y, it becomes a problem, therefore, because it gives us a wrong information. And we need to make sure that the information which you gave us and the information which comes from the bank correlate or they talk to each other. So that's what has been causing a hiccup. But secondly, we have also picked up that people tend to give us that cell number which might be wrong with one digit, and so it makes you to look as if it's not the rightful owner of the cell phone. So what we're trying to do now, Tulasizo, is that we're appealing to people that please take your time when you upload the information so that it's as correct as possible.
Which categories of grant recipients are particularly affected by this?
The people who are affected mostly about this, it's those who have applied for a 350 a social grant, but those who are in the mainstream in terms of the applications are not affected. Those are affected in the statement which was released in terms of those who are making basically the online application. Because when you make an online application using a phone which is not a smartphone, there are certain things that you need to upload. For example, you must upload the ID, you must upload certain documents, especially those with images. And if you are not using the smartphone, obviously you won't be able to upload certain documents with the application you are making. But this does not apply to the 350 per se. It applies to the mainstream social grants when people have to do an online application.
I was trying to also understand that story around the use of smartphones and payment via EFT. And I must say, just my layman understanding, I battled with it as well. What's tripping up your Mpumalanga center there, in that a person can apply for payment via EFT even though they don't have a smartphone? I don't see the difficulty there, because it's on your side that you require the connectivity, etc., and you make the EFT. I receive it at the bank if I go to a bank branch. So just explain it for me so that we are all on board and understand what's difficult about this.
Thank you very much, Thulasizwe, for that question. I think I need to explain that there would be those people who apply for the 350, and in this instance, they would not be affected because those who apply for 350, they don't have to upload images. However, if you apply for a child support grant, for an example, or you apply for an old age grant, we have introduced an online application because the intention here is to make sure that people do not come to the office and make an application. Those who want to make an application from the comfort of their homes, they can do that. However, if you are using this gadget, for example, the iPad or the laptop, you would then be able to upload those images if you are prompted by the system. However, if you are making an online application for the mainstream social grants only, you are then requested to upload certain information. And therefore, you have to upload your ID or you have to upload your marriage certificate. And to do that, you won't be able to do it. So when our guys in Mpumalanga were going and doing beneficiary education, this is where it came up that people are complaining about how frustrated they are when they are doing an online application.
Right.
Hence, they were advised, please make sure that you do use the gadgets which are able to upload the information so that you are able to process the application.
I see. All right. So it's mainly on the application side of things more than it is around payment. Paseka Letsatsi, I've got to thank you for your time. He is from the South African Social Security Agency, talking to us there about a number of issues that are at play in as far as the payment of social grants is concerned.